Hello there, and welcome to yet another episode of my Car Mechanic 2021 series. We are on car number 2 of the Porsche DLC, and as you can see, we have in front of us a Porsche 911 Carrera 4S, 991 for those who know the numbering scheme. I don't, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, yeah, this one is in rough shape. It's an auction find. The frame's garbage tier condition. The parts, they're middling. Yeah, it needs some work. That's what we're here for. We're gonna make this pretty again, even if it takes us a while. So first things first. Get the frame taken care of. Like the easiest part. Right. So yeah, we're going to probably go ahead and strip everything off here because I don't know how much of this we're going to be able to salvage. Salvage in my case being fixing it, because the game's definition of salvage is you're basically scrapping stuff, and it's like, no, you're not. No. We're not scrapping stuff. Well, some of this we might. Is an odd, whatever the heck that is. I'll probably find that later. Well, that's the air intake. Okay. All right. Got the hood. Anything else here come off? That's the air intake. We may or may not have to take that off to get the engine out, but find out. Okay, so you should be at 1%. Yeah, okay, good. We could see if we can fix any of this, but... Okay. Didn't think we were going to be able to fix much, but... Here we are. Oh, broke that one. Sort by condition. Pretty much what we expected, except for the one fender that's in, like, absolute garbage state. Okay, we're just gonna... do that. And we're gonna put on the stuff that we have. And then mark the other stuff that we don't. We have here... So we have the trunk. Right, because it's a rear engine car, the trunk's in the front. I figured it out. Took me a second. What else we got? Rear bumper. Anything else? Left fender. It's an actual fender this time, not just a... Okay. So inventory is empty, so let's start marking things. Okay, got the windshield. The windows on the driver's side. Tail light, rear window. We'll get the license plates separate. I'm not even going to put those on the bloody list because there's really no point. Because I do them custom anyway. Alright. So this is the Just to refresh here, Carrera 4S. So we go to, nope, we don't need to go there. We need to go here. Body workstation. And we'll start buying parts here. Like we're getting the tail lights. Yep. Okay, rear window's good. Right. Let's get all this in there. We'll fix the paint here in a bit. When I finish the body work, do the interior, and then get this thing rolling on its own with a fresh set of tires, which means we're also going to have to replace it or install a few missing suspension parts from the looks of it. I can already tell we're missing probably the caliper and maybe a few other things. Okay, inventory's empty. Frame is 100%. Body's at 87 because I think we're missing the custom plates, which we're just going to do my standard issue custom plates that I've always done. Yeah. Need 2 of them, front and back. Part. Okay, looking good. Body's at 95. We are missing something here. Hmm. The glassware's in there. Huh. We missing. We got something back here, didn't we? That is interesting. What are we missing on the body? Tail light. That engine covers basically the fan. What could we possibly be missing on that? The glass is in, the headlights are in. Hmm. It's got to be something with the engine in the back, because we should have everything up here taken care of. Hmm. That. Two. Hmm. Somebody's not at 100% that should be. Well, we could try, fussing with this, but essentially what we might end up having to do is just restore the rest of the car and then come back to whatever's not 100% when we get to this part. I think that's probably what we're going to end up having to do. I hate doing that, but I really don't think we have much of a choice unless we want to sit here and try to play guess the part. Because right now this car has so much that needs to be worked on that uh, yeah, I think we're pretty much just gonna have to make an executive decision on that. Might be easier that way, because it's better than, like I said, it's better than just sitting there guessing the whole time. Let's just get this bad boy in the air and move on, because it looks complete. Not necessarily missing something there. No. Both the taillights are in. It's got to be something. Yeah, okay. But like I said, don't want to obsess over it for too long. I've already wasted enough of everyone's time here, so let's get tires off. Basically, process of elimination through just sheer brute force. We literally fix everything else on the car, and whatever comes out that's still not 100%, it'll be, like I said, much easier to spot it then. So it's probably some trim piece or some bull crap like that. I bet you that's what it is. There's got to be some kind of little skirt piece thing stripped somewhere that we've missed, or I missed. Suppose I could do the... It doesn't do that for body parts, never mind. Or, yeah. Anywho, let's get this... We got all these off. Get these apart. See if we can salvage the rims at least. Oh boy. Yeah, it was bound to happen with one of these cars. Either, not necessarily any dig against Porsche itself, it's just for some fluffing reason we're not able to easily see what that missing body part is that is keeping us from being 100%. We'll figure it out. Watch it be like something with the air intake or something. Alright, let's test that out real quick. That should have brought us down to 87. Okay, so that has to be I just want to try this out real quick. This is only going to take a minute. Nope. I kind of figured it wasn't, but I thought I'd try it anyway. It was still worth trying out. Let's get that. Let's get this stuff back on there then. Just doing one last little attempt here. Okay, anyway. Let's go fix the rims. Okay, we'll put that on there. We need 2 of those, and 2 of those. All right. Back here, get to the rim shop. Excuse me. We need 1 20-inch rim. One, there we go. So sometimes there's a puzzle, and we found our puzzle early in the game. Well, early in the episode anyway. We'll figure it out eventually. Okay, so 305.30. 305.30. Yeah. Okay, let's verify. 305.30 R20. 305.30 R20. So we can get rid of that one and that one. Now we just need to get the 245. Get rid of that. And then go over here. One more time. 245.35. $245.35 R20. 245.35 R20. All right. Perfect. Okay, let's get these back together. I hate leaving stuff that not 100% like that, especially that early on, but we could literally sit there for like an hour trying to figure out, from all, because there's like 12 pages of parts there, and I'd rather get it down instead of having to search through 12 pages. I'd rather have to look for one thing, because it's at 95%, so there can't be that much going on. Like we couldn't have missed anything big. Maybe. We will figure it out though. We're gonna get to it towards the end of the assembly instead of at the beginning. A little bit of a departure from our previous efforts, but not a huge deal. So what are you missing? Oh, you're missing a lot. All right, let's zoom in. Okay. Got you. So the end link 2 and the outer tie rod. And not horrible. Okay. Back to the car parts. That caliper. Actually, we're just gonna do that. We're gonna need that too. Bone shock absorber. Means we're going to need front spring and front cap. Okay. For suspension arm by part. Also going to need 2 rubber bushings. Once you play this enough, you start remembering dependencies on individual part, well, at least anticipating dependencies. You in there first, and we'll get the end link, and then we're gonna have to go pop back out after we get the brakes and everything else done, because we still need to do the assembly itself and get everything else. Oh, the spring. Not a spring, but a nut. Okay, get that assembly together. Good. There we go. Okay. Oh, right, we forgot to balance them. Yeah. Getting in a hurry. Getting in a hurry. Now I can put them on. We need the 245. Yes, we do. Okay. One. Hang on. Yeah, it's the other 245. Okay, that's good. I just wanted to double check. Like I said, we're putting these back on because we want this thing to be able to roll on its own, especially when we get to the paint booth. Although that's not necessarily a requirement to get in the paint booth, but... Alright. Still feels like we're missing something simple here. Okay, so at least it's sitting on its own, so let's get it over to paint. That's not paint. Come on, hit the right button this time. Saw the spray bottle and went, yeah, that's it. And went, nope, that's not it. Right. Dirty and unprepared. Guess I must have subconsciously knew this thing needed to be cleaned, but I thought I already did that. But... Wait, could that be why it was not... Okay, so it wasn't. I'm going like, wait a minute. Was this thing the reason why it wasn't 100% because we didn't clean it? Like, nope. Alright, back to paint. Okay, so we did about like that color last time, so let's go for something... I'm not hating that, but I think we've done that color before. Ooh, that pearl coat doesn't look bad on there. Chameleon looks kind of neat. Okay, there we go. Normally I go with a different coat or different paint type, but I think I like this. We're gonna go. Okay, hang on. Before we do that, let's check the liveries. Okay, okay, okay. That actually works. Let's take a look at the others. Okay, so it's a lighter stripe and a red stripe, and that's ooh, understated, but digging that. Okay, I'm liking that even better. Yeah, let's go with that. Just in case you forgot what you were driving, it's on no less than 3 different spots on the car. And all over the interior, too. That's pretty. Hmm. Alright, we're done here. Back to the bay. That actually kind of pops in the light. I like... This is one of those rare times where it's like I pick a good color and I actually went with something other than my standard paint type and got some good liveries on it. It's like... I thought that part maybe was the one we missed, but nope, that's part of the bumper. Like I said, there's probably something simple we're missing here. 100%. What is at 95%? And yet this thing looks complete to me. Wondered if because if it was one of the body panels, we'd be able to see. All right, like I said, we're gonna figure that shit out one way or another with this. But for now, let's get all the fluids drained. Starting over here. Seems to be the only one here because everything rather predictably is back by the engine. That's an interesting place to put the brake servo. Okay. Get her up in the air and we'll get the oil out. Funky front bumper. Tell you what. Still wonder if maybe something missing there. Anyway, let's get the oil done before I forget again. Sorry, I'm just getting like oddly distracted by the fact that uh, we got the body at 95, or the body panels at 95%. Makes me think I actually didn't fix something when I did. I have to set this thing back down anyway because I was going to do the interior and I got sidetracked. Let's do something real quick. %. That's 100%. 100%. I know I'm distracting myself again, but so everything we've installed so far has been 100%. So I just wanted to make absolutely sure here that we were like not missing something. Yeah, like I said, I'm leaving all this in the video here because this is somewhat annoying that the game's like, nope. Can't have 100%. Like I said, I know this is adding probably a few minutes to the video there, but it's just one of those deals where it's like, you know, what if it's this? What if it's that? You know, it's that kind of the thing you go through sometimes when you're working on these cars, and it's like, right, because we haven't put the license plates back on. It's on. Anyway, so we got all the fluids out. Let's get the engine. Actually, no. We'll do the interior. I keep, for some reason, forgetting I haven't done that part yet. Put it into assembly mode. And we go to the interior shop. Like I said, we'll figure it out. It's just we gotta work the problem is all. Okay, so we got frame and interior to 100%, and whatever the part is for the body that we can't fix, that's going to be figured out here hopefully sometime in the near future. But until then, Yeah, like I said, there's probably some little part that, you know, should have been taken off with the rest of the body. Engine cover. Yeah, that shouldn't have. Yeah, air filter base, wheel hub bearings, all that stuff is just. Just hear me out here. If it, like I said, even if this isn't the problem, that one brain cell's slowly working here. There we go. It didn't change the percentage because I never fixed or replaced the part. There you go. I was on the right track and I doubted myself. I should have went with my gut on that. But there we go. I'm leaving all that shit in that from that. So now we're good. 100% on body, frame, and interior. Now we can move on to the parts. So the fluids have been drained, so let's do this proper, shall we? I knew we'd figure it out eventually. It's weird that that's considered a body part if it's being hidden by another body part. You would think it would be part of the engine, but hey, I didn't make the game, and I also didn't make the car. So, learn new stuff every day. Figured it out. The drive shaft's gonna have to go. We'll worry about that when we redo the front suspension. Okay, let's say, get me closer. And starter off. Gearbox. Right, that's out of the way. Remember correctly, we just need the exhaust off. Don't we? Oh no, probably these two. Just to be safe. Alright. And my mouse is just bouncing around today. Alright. On with the show. Now we can get the engine out. Seems like whenever you do these DLC cars, it's like you get an interesting little puzzle. Sometimes it's during the engine disassembly. That's where most of mine end up being. And in this case, it was... you know, that thing. Alright, so the engine's out. We're going to... just for the exhaust system, because we're going to replace all of that with performance parts. Okay, so that leaves us with want to buy the exhaust parts right now. That way I just have them in my... They're going to clutter up my inventory, but I want to go ahead and get these. It's literally just 3 pieces. Take us 30, not even 30 seconds to buy this stuff. We'll have it on hand, ready to go when we go to put the engine back in. So, good to go. So now we get to do the engine disassembly. Interesting to see how this goes versus the one from the previous episode. And it's a boxer engine style thing, kind of like we saw with the previous car, which, you know, not surprised. Alright. That is a long filler neck. So, first things first. Grabbing stuff that we can get off the top of the engine. We're going to get this thing down to, ideally, the engine block pieces, if there's 2 of them, like it was last time. And the crankshaft. Everything else we're going to buy brand new and get as many of the performance parts packed in there as we can. Same as we do for, you know, pretty much every episode. Timing cover. Okay. Oh, this actually has an honest-to-God oil pan. Fetch the fainting couch on this one. Still got the 2-piece engine block, it looks like. Which is not, like I said, not a bad design. Just never really seen that in any other vehicle before. Another turbo off here, or turbocharger, excuse me. Okay. Oh, right, we need to get the... Oh, this one's only got the 3 on each side. Not the double spark plug like we saw in the previous episode. Fascinating. In WD-40, excuse me, DW04 we trust because they can't use the name WD-40 because it's copyright. Even though I'm pretty sure if they asked that company, it'd probably be like, wait, you're doing a car simulator, right? Get to fix cars and people are actually using this stuff for its intended purpose? Sure. You know? I mean, I don't speak for, you know, the company that makes WD-40, but I would think they would actually wouldn't mind their product being shown and, you know, used for its, you know, what it's actually made for, you know. But who knows? Maybe they wanted too much money. All right. This last camshaft bearing off. Let's get the clutch stuff before we forget. So like I said, this may be a little bit more of a scuffed episode than usual, but like I said, each one of these cars is going to be its own puzzle. And sometimes we don't figure the puzzles out right away. Sometimes, you know, we have to sit there and kind of let it set in our brain for a little bit before we figure it out. And on out. Get rid of the cam gears. These are some crunchy looking camshafts on this. Like I said, this at least we figured it out before we got all the way to the end. You know, it was a very minor thing. It was just, like I said, I even took the damn part out and put it back in like an idiot. But, yeah. Got her, though. We need to get the fuel rails out. That I should have got earlier. Okay, so we take the engine heads off at least. Okay, they come. Oh, right, we still need to get the camshafts off here. Now we can get this one off. Slowly learning about these cars and getting a whole new respect for the level of engineering that went into these. Can't get to those from there. I'm willing to bet if we turn this around, we could... Yep. Yep. It's like, we gotta get to them somehow. It's kind of like a mix between the design from the other car and most of the other cars that are out there on the road. They still have a multi-piece engine block, but it's a more modern... It's almost like a much more modern... Actually, is a seemingly a much more modern take on the traditional design. Okay, we got those out. Now what? Oh, right, we still need to get the other nerf. Okay. Oh, that's... interesting. They alternate... Oh, that's so clever, actually. That's how you holding both halves together. Gotcha. They alternate the fucking crankshaft bolt or crankshaft bearings. Cool. Okay. I'm down with that. Right. Let's go fix up the both halves of the engine block and the crankshaft. Get rid of the rest of the stuff and start the assembly process. See, we're learning here. We're learning. Get that one lone brain cell to function, you know? Excuse me. Throat's really dry today. Okie dokie. Let's slide these back in. That crankshaft on there. I'm gonna hop back out because we're gonna ditch all the other parts. Right. So yeah, we're not going to keep any of this stuff except for the stuff that's 100%. We're going to do that very easily by doing that. We're just going to build this thing layer by layer, and from there. Although this is already starting to look like more of a what you consider a traditional build that we've done with most other cars, except in this case the engine block is in multiple pieces. Okay, we need 6 pistons with Conrod. Need 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like 4 of crankshaft bearing caps. Okay, we've got a fuel filter, flywheel, water pump, fuel, oil filter, and idle roller, and looks like a timing cover and oil fill tube. Okie dokie. Go buy some parts. Pistons with Conrod. Fuel filter. Flywheel. Alternator. Yep. Those should be standard parts. That should be standard parts. Yeah, I think the rest of these are all standard parts. So, cap. Those rings. I'm going to use just standard off-the-shelf piston rings, and I didn't want to clean out. Okay. Our crankshaft bearing caps. Good old-fashioned water pump. Oil filter. Got our idle roller. Timing cover. And our obnoxiously long oil fill tube. And get all this installed. What else we got? Right. I get these in the crankshaft bearing caps in first. Dude, I gotta hand it to him. That's a very unique design. Right, one in. Number 2. Number 3. 4. 5. And number 6. Okay, I think that's it for that round. So let's get another batch of parts on order here. So we've got our oil pan, engine head A, and engine head B, clutch plate here, pulley, crankshaft pulley. I think that's it. Once we get that oil pan on, we'll be able to write the engine. Order some more parts. Let's see. Clutch plate's definitely a performance part. Engine head A, 6% increase. Good. Engine head B, another solid increase. The rest, I think, is bog standard parts. Helps if I actually click out of the shopping list. Alright. On first. first of the engine heads put back on. And that lit up a whole bunch of stuff there, which we'll get to here in a minute. Okay, that's everything on that round. We get that. Intake manifold B, intake manifold A. 6 spark plugs. Camshaft. First of our turbochargers. We're definitely gonna need that belt. Already got used, so I'm gonna get those and the other turbocharger. I think that's it on this round. Alright, let's go grab some stuff. Clutch pressure plate, thank you. 4 performance camshafts, thank you. 2 turbochargers. And intake manifold A. Intake manifold B. Look, plastic. Ew. I say that as a person who drove a PT Cruiser that had a plastic intake, and a lot of cars do, but anyway. Can't knock that car too terribly much, though. I did get close to 100,000 miles out of it before it absolutely tried to take itself out from existence by shorting its own electrical system. Which apparently, in the grand scheme of things, with a lot of PT Cruiser drivers, got lucky. Haven't had that car for years, though. I traded that thing in after I got the electrical system fixed up. That's everybody. So now we can order the next batch of parts. We need one for each side, basically. Yep. And so we have, what, 6 of those, so we need 12. Alright. Fuel rail. The other fuel rail, did we get the belt tensioner? We did not. Do now. Our steering pump and throttle. And clutch release bearing, because we can't forget that. Alright, so yeah, cam gears are never performance part. Steering pump. Fuel rails, those are definitely performance parts. Camshaft cap. Cam gear. Oh, wait, clutch release bearing. All that stuff looks like standard parts. Okay, so 2 cam gears. 2 cam gear Bs. 12 camshaft caps, 6 on each side. Belt tensioner. And clutch release bearing. the release bearing on there so we don't have to worry about the clutch stuff anymore. And get all these cam gears on. Get our belt tensioner in there. And we need timing chain. Another timing chain. But before we do all of that, let's get these camshaft caps on. Alright, let's get the other side, and then we'll order more parts. I have a feeling once we get all these on, we'll have more things show up. More parts, I mean. Or maybe it's waiting on the chains here. Guess we'll go ahead and order those real quick. There we go. More shoes. Okay, got all those. Excuse me. Oh, they're just all the same. Ew, how dare they? How dare they make it so easy? Okay. Apparently they want the timing covers on for. Fine. Do that real quick. Cover B. And timing cover A. Okay, yeah. I kind of figured those would pop up once we got those on there. Okay, engine head cover in B. Probably going to want to go ahead and get the coil packs. So let's get these ordered first since we're here. And then we'll head over to the performance shop. Coil. I think they're just bog standard ones. Don't remember them being super fancy. We're gonna find out. Yeah, it's just a standard ignition coil. That it? I mean, it certainly looks like it. Fit in the outline, so there's doesn't appear to be any missing parts. It shows the transmission there, but we can't put the transmission on it and have it on here at the same time, so. These looks more or less complete. Guess we'll find out in the long run here, so let's. Yep. Get out of there. There we go. Alright, let's drop her back in the car. Oop. Like everything's good. Put that away. Click. Okay, so the fluids are replaced, but we need to go here and start replacing pretty much everything. Grab you, and you. You chuckleheads, yes, you're coming with me. Nope, nope, not yet. Not you, and definitely not yet. It's weird that I can get to the fuel pump, but I can't get to the tank. No. Go ahead and gank that while I'm here. Actually, the fuel pump and fuel tank, we're just going to go ahead and mark those. And we're going to buy those separate. So we can have that out of the way. Shopping list, fuel pump. And fuel tank is a standard part. Right. Battery. Wait till the highlight comes back up. It doesn't make any noise. Let's see if we can fix any of this other stuff. Good. Right. Let's see what's left here. Should be mostly just the fuses, yeah. Okie dokie. So, and the washer reservoir. The ECU, I'm not surprised because that's not a repairable part in real life either. Well, kind of, but right. That's all electrical stuff, so we'll just go here. Do fuse type A's. Do fuse type B's. And that's not electrical. I clicked on it just out of force of habit. 4 relay type C's. 2 relay type A's. 2 relay type B's. Medium fuse type C. And we'll go to the standard parts shop for the last item. Alright. Symbol. Rest of that we can get from the top. Okay, let's get the radiators put on first, because that's the first thing I clicked on. And get all these fuses put back in. We won't have to mess with that ever again on this car, hopefully. Get our newly refurbished battery in there. And probably should have did this before the battery, but that's okay. And we'll top this off. I think that's everything up here. Let me double check. Doesn't look like we're missing anything. Good. Okay, let's go back here. And we do that. Let's get this back up in the air for a moment. I want to get the gearbox put back on in the starter. That stuff out of my inventory. Might as well put the exhaust on too while we're back here. Ain't gonna put the drive shafts on because, well, we want to keep those off till we get the suspension back to 100%. Nope, nope, back up. There you go. That's pretty. Okay. That just leaves us with the drive shafts and the axle shafts. Cool beans. Okay. So, now we need to finish the engine compartment here. Right, we gotta get this from up on top because game logic. That's one hell of an air intake. I'll grab that, grab you, and don't want to fill it. We want to take the damn thing. Right, we're just missing the ABS. And then we'll be able to move on. Anything else in here? I don't think so, because all the rest of the stuff's up front. See what we can fix up. I think it's gonna be, yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be very many. Alright. So we've got brake servo, ABS pump, and ABS module. The rest of it's going to have to get replaced rather predictably. So, go. We're just going to do a big sale here. Get rid of all the parts we can't fix up. And we'll order parts. Filters are performance part. We're going to get everything else first. Just because. Filter base. Filter cover. And power steering reservoir. Tune-up shop. Do these specialized air filters for a... actually, that's a 2% increase that per filter. That's actually not bad. Most of them are like 1, maybe 1.5 on a good day. All right, let's start filling fluids here. Start with the stuff that's right next to us. Mm. Right, that just leaves the oil back out here. Else we find the .710 cap that is staring us right in the goddamn face. Right. For those who don't get the 710 cap reference, go look it up. It's actually pretty stupid but funny. All right, I think that's everybody here. Okay, so exhaust system's done, fuel system's done. The engine's good to go. The engine compartment's good. The frunk is good. And yes, I said frunk. That's an actual term now, apparently. Has been for a while. Pretty damn close. 82%. Why is body back to 95? Oh, right, because we forgot to put the fucking engine cover back on. It's that problem all over again. I had a tickle in the back of my throat. There we go. Anyway, heart's at 82%, so we're pretty dang close. So, at this point, after I've blown everybody's eardrums out about 2 or 3 times with my coughing, all we have left is the rear suspension and the front. So, we already have the tires off. We'll take the rest of this apart after we get it where I can access it. So that'll be easier than trying to do this from the ground. We're going to take it all apart, fix what we can, place what we can't. You know, the usual. Right, so you got a bearing hiding in there. You sure do. Alright, let's get this other side torn apart. Remember to get the bearing out this time. Alright. Thing about these cars though, the rear suspensions are actually pretty simple. I mean, simple looking anyway. Okay, so that's everything from the back here. Let's go put the rotors on the lathe. Excuse me. There we go. Surely the most riveting part of the video. certainly learned some interesting lessons with this car. I'll give him that. Well, you gotta be very patient when you do these cars. You don't want to get too worked up. You don't want to get too pissed off at it because it's genuinely, more often than not, something simple you missed. And as soon as you find it, like what I did there, you feel dumb, but at least you learned something. And there you go. Main thing is you learn something out of it. That was a good number of parts. In fact, this whole first page is 100%. That leaves mostly just the assemblies and the consumables, which I don't think any part of these assemblies are actually fixable. In fact, just to verify, they are in fact not. But, you know, this is a fairly short list of parts. Right? Get rid of all the not so good parts. See? Very short list. No biggie. Okay, 8 rubber bushings. 2 sets of brake pads. 2 rear shocks. Shock caps. 2 brand new bearings. And a couple of rear springs to round things out. Right. First things first. Put these bad boys back together. Right. Let's get to it. Okay, get this other suspension arm on. Okay, gotcha. Gotta kind of thread the needle there with your mouse to get the bearing in there sometimes, but alright, let's get the brakes on. Get the other side put together. Good to go. Alright, let's get the last little bits put on for this side, and then that should be it for the rear suspension. Okay. Only thing we got left is the drive shaft, which we're not going to do because it's going to go to the front suspension, which we haven't done yet, which we're getting ready to do here in a second. But that is one freshly rebuilt rear suspension. Alright, we're up to 92% part condition. Pull these tires back off. We're on the home stretch. Alright. Pull all this apart. Drive shaft off. You get the bearing first, then you can get that. That's unstuck. Come on, come on. There you go. So many rusty bolts and nuts here. Alright, let's get these rubber bushings out of this cross member before we pop it out. Alright, so we should be able to get that entire steering rack out. Oh, we forgot the other end link. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, we can get the sway bar out. Okay, got the front diff. Alright, that looks like everything. Let's get... Oh shit, I didn't really need to take that apart. Oh well. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Whoops. Put that back together and then separate out the other one. Like to get that practice and, you know, totally. Was totally on purpose. Alright, let's see if we can get these brake pads, not brake pads, brake discs back up to spec here. Anytime now. Okay. So let's see how much of this we can fix up. All right. See where that left us. Not too bad. Be worse. Could be a lot worse. Alright, let's get this stuff ordered. Let's get to ordering some parts, shall we? 10 rubber bushings. Wave bar end link. Fresh pair of 2 fresh pairs of brake pads. Shock cap. Spring. Both inner tie rods. Oh, there you go. Wheel hub bearings. Okay, wishbone shock absorber. 1 outer tie rod because we replaced the other one much earlier in the episode. And the sway bar. Okay. Get that one assembly put back together. Now that we got all new parts for it. Shouldn't have another one. Yeah, okay, because we put that other one back together after I accidentally took it apart. Okay, so let's get that cross membrane. We're gonna bushings in before we forget about them. And get that drive. Might as well get that drive shaft put on since we just put the diff back in. Steering rack. All right, let's get her done. And get the rest of this put on. Okay, let's get the brakes next. And the other suspension arm installed, and then the rest of this bolted in. Okay. Get the brakes put on. Drive axle. Your inventory. Inventory is empty. And we're at 100% for everything. How about that? Hot damn. All right. Let's get this bad boy over to the alignment rack. Get the headlights and the wheels straightened out. Headlights are good. Alright. Wheels are all good to go. So I'm going to move you outside. I'm going to take some pictures. And then we'll take it to the dyno room and then to the test path. In roughly that order. All right. Okay, that's going to be a thumbnail for the video. Almost forgot the dyno room entirely. Alright, let's take a look here. So 420 giggity horsepower from the factory, 383 foot-pounds of torque. Let's see where she ends up. Distinctively different sound. 665 horsepower, so gain of 246, so about a 59% increase. 581 pound-feet of torque, or a gain of 198, and 52% increase respectively. So, not too bad. Not great, but you know, I mean, for this car, yeah, it's great. But you know, sometimes in these cars you get a bigger increase, sometimes you don't. This one, it got a pretty healthy boost. Put you back out front. Kind of digging the interior. Not too bad looking. And it's got a freaking actual honest-to-God shifter and not one of those turn dial things. I never did like those. Still don't. Alright, let's get over to speed track. We'll see how fast this thing can go. If it's anything like its predecessor, you might want to be careful with the throttle. So strap in and we're gonna go for it. Okay, 130, 40, 50, and 60, 70, and 80. Um, 187. Pretty respectable, I guess. Alright. Let's head back to the garage and we'll look at the numbers. See where we ended up here. Maybe. Come on, computer. There you go. Okay. So, bought it for $55,800. It was an auction car. Not in the best of shape, obviously. You can see the condition bonus and all the other parts, performance value stuff, where that factors in. We got a total sale value of $220,000 and some change, with a profit of $164,000. So, still a pretty respectable return on investment, if I may say so myself. So, go ahead and sell it. And done. Hey, alright. Steadily making money. Okay, So let's move some stuff around and talk about what comes up next. So we got the 911 RS America. This was a junkyard find, but as you could tell by the percentages. I'm going to move you to Bay 1, because that's going to be the next thing that comes up for us to work on. That's the next episode. And... oh boy, this one's going to be fun too. Porsche Carrera GT. You to Bay 2. That's going to be the episode after that. Oh boy, she's going to need some work. A little bit crunchy looking. But we can fix that. We're going to fix that. Then we've got our... basically what amounts to our filler episode car. Salem Flamo, aka Ford Pinto. And this one was mainly just picked for fun and game reasons, yes. Might make an interesting rebuild. Maybe we can tweak some or tweak this thing and get some power out of it. Maybe not. Either way, be a fun little compact car to work on, potentially. And excuse me, we're gonna pull our next victim out of parking. Well, victim, our next project out of there. I cleaned up my list a little bit, so we're gonna be, after we get done with the Salem Flamo, we're gonna be starting in on the Land Rover DLC. And so we're going to take the Land Rover Discovery and we're going to move it to our garage. Yeah, this thing kind of been on... somebody threw this thing on tumble dry and sent it down a hill or something, because it's not doing so hot. We're gonna fix that too. We'll put that in position 3 because we'll have the remaining 2 cars in the Porsche DLC to do first. Got the Salem Flamo, and then we got the first of the Land Rover vehicles. To be honest, I'm kind of interested in seeing how these turn out, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Got plenty of others to go through once we get done with those. So with that, I'm going to turn you guys loose, and I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so you can get those alerts for those upcoming episodes. And with that, I'll turn you loose and say thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.